And after that huge in-your-face title screen, hey everybody, it's gamer number 98 here, and here we go with LP number 19, Wario World. This game is quite an underrated gem in my opinion. I mean, not enough people played this game when it came out, so I'm here to do it some justice. Especially if that whole thing about a GameCube Virtual Console on the Wii U happens. So, here we go with the save select screen, and look at this save slot right here. Last played in 2006. Well, we can use that save slot for this LP. And let's begin. Wait. Yeah, that's fine. Now, let's begin. Long ago, there was an evil black jewel that fed on the wishes of people, turning their desires into power. This dark jewel gave birth to many evil spirits who then fomented the good creatures of the world. Then, just when it seemed like the evil spirits would overrun the land, the spritelings of the sacred forest ensnared the black jewel and hid it away deep within their ancient ruins. But over time, these events were all forgotten, and one day, a greedy treasure hunter stole the jewel from the ruins. Ooh, free at last! I'm chock full of power! I think I'll turn all this greedy sap's jewels into evil spirits! Tentacles! And right after that rather short intro, we're thrown straight into the game. So this is Wario World, everybody. As you can see, it consists of a rather simple hub world. The controls are as follows. You move with the control stick, hup, dup, dup, dup. The A button jumps, the B button punches. The R button does the dash attack, which is pretty much Wario's trademark move in any of his games. While you're in the middle of this charge attack, you press the A button, you can do this corkscrew thing. The C stick moves the camera around, and well, this camera mostly stays fixed in a certain position. You only really nudge it when you use the C stick. The L button, which open wide. Now this is hypersuction. We'll get into what that does a little later on, but for now we want to check out this hub world here. It's split into 4 different worlds, as you can see here. This game is very linear. And there's not really a lot to this game. Over here is a giant treasure chest, which is where the black jewel is hidden. We can't do anything with that yet. For now, there's only one place open, Excitement Central, which is World 1. Now these cases here on the left and right here, we'll get into those a little later, but for now, this is where we're going to get into the main mechanic of the game and how the structure of it is. So the game is split into 4 worlds, each with 2 levels and 1 boss at the end. And so here's the first level. There's also this sign here. We punch it and we actually see that we actually have missions in each level. One mission is to defeat the boss at the end of the level. There's also a mission involving the collection of 8 statue pieces, which will actually earn you extra life. And there's also the treasures. Now we'll get into that when we get into that, but for now we're going to want to enter the first world and get this party started. This is Excitement Central's Greenhorn Forest. So yeah, as you can see, this game is basically a 3D platformer with a fixed camera. And there is some exploration involved, like you'd expect from a Wario game. And uh-oh, we have bad guys. I don't know these guys' official names. Could you give me a moment? I'm sorry. Sorry, Wario, to make you wait. Alright, so you know what? I don't care. This guy over here, the big one, he's called a Mago. Or a Magon. The little guys, I don't know. I don't know. Either way, here we have a button. When you punch this thing, it will make a treasure appear on the pedestal of the same colour. So right over here. And here's a treasure. Collect treasures to activate games for transfer to your Game Boy Advance. That is actually really pointless, but you know, I'll collect them on anyway. Now going up here, we're going to get into something quite important. This thing over here. Now this bit's automatic, so all this is automatic right here. You're always programmed to do this. Wario, hi! I've been waiting for you. I'm one of the Spritelings of the forest. I have really bad news. That evil black jewel you stole is sucking up all the negative greed energy swirling around in your castle, and terrible things are starting to happen. Honest! If you want to survive, press the A button to jump and the B button to punch. Also, press the B button to pick up and hurl KO'd enemies. Practice up, okay? Alright, so we just rescued a Spriteling. There's 5 of these in each main level. And well, they don't do a whole lot other than get you a different ending. You can review their tips anytime by pausing the game, and this is the best part of the game, is the pause menu music. This shows you basically everything you've done in the level. These are the treasures you found. Right now we've only found the diamond. It also shows you the stamps you collected for each of the missions. And also you notice that we've actually been collecting coins in this game. Coins are only used for 2 things. Life recovery and life insurance. We'll get into that in a moment, but for now we're just going to want to jump across these tree stumps. And here we have a ghost statue fragment. There's 8 of these in every level, and they all form a gold statue of Wario outside in the hub world, which you can review here. For every gold statue you complete, you earn an extra half heart in your life meter, which, by the way, yes, you will die, and you will get game over. Oh, but we also have to explain what you can do with big enemies you quote-unquote KO. If you knock out a big enemy so that birds fly around, you can pick it up with B and you can carry it around. And there's 3 different things you can do. If you hold down the B button, you can charge up a throw attack, like that. And then there's things like that where enemies just randomly disappear. So that's what Hyper Suction does right there. When you open your mouth, it actually draws in coins. Well, if anything, that's definitely one of the highlights of this game, is the humor. This game is full of humor. Oh, they respawned. Yeah, this game has enemy respawning syndrome. Another move we can do is, while carrying an enemy, we can rotate the control stick and we can do the wild swing ding, which is this basically. After a few rotations, you actually can let go of the control stick and you start spinning automatically. Just press the B button to throw the enemy. The third and final move is the pile driver, where we jump into the air with the enemy and we press the R button. And we basically pound the enemy to the ground. Also, we can pound ground just by jumping and pressing R. Anyway, here's another button, so here's the second treasure. There's the ruby. And here's a treasure chest. You just punch that and... oh. I got a bomb. Treasure chest will contain either a bunch of coins, garlic, which restores 1 heart of your life meter, or on very, very rare occasions, it can contain bombs. And what the heck? So much for bombs being very rare. Bombs are just used as explosives, and yes, they can hurt you. So we hit the yellow button, and here's the yellow treasure. If you ever see those footprint icons on the floor, it means there's something you can jump up at. If there's one thing this game's good at, it's being way too easy. That's definitely one of the big criticisms of this game, is it's piss easy, and also piss short. But if anything, that doesn't bother me too much, because this game has quite a lot of charm to it, I think. Listen, eventually you're gonna have to deal with the stone doohickey that sits on the gull. Again, humor, the stone doohickey. to get rid of it, you've got to collect a certain number of red diamonds. Below every ground hatch is a sub-level that holds on. Jump and then press the R button to do a ground pound. You can crash through most hatches this way. In this area, you only need 3 diamonds. There's another thing to get into. You're going to need red diamonds if you want to battle the boss. Now, each level has 8 diamonds. And the number of diamonds you need gets higher and higher as you progress through the game. So here's a sub-level by crashing through that hatch. And well, they usually, there's actually 2 variants of the sub-level. There's the puzzle level like this. And there we go, we got a red diamond followed by another gold statue fragment. So touch that spring and you go back to the surface. Oh, now over here we're going to get into another automatic thing. This garlic dispenser. Garlic! Don't you love garlic? Delicious garlic restores health. Listen, you big elf, if you've got the courage to take me on, I guess it's okay to sell you garlic. So, the garlic dispensers. There's a few of these in the game. You just attack it and it dispenses 1 piece of garlic, which will restore 1 heart. However, it costs coins, and the price goes up every time. And the price also goes up as you go through the game. Now these blocks here, I think it's pretty obvious what you do. You just attack the part with the X on it, and you destroy it. Now one thing I will say about this game is graphically it really isn't that appealing. I mean, don't get me wrong, the graphics aren't horrendous, but they're definitely not outstanding either. Wario himself does look slightly blocky. I mean, this is a GameCube game, and the GameCube was actually a pretty powerful system for its time. It was more powerful than the PS2 and pretty much on par with the Xbox, so there was definitely it definitely had a lot of power in it for its time. I mean, look at games like Wind Waker and Metroid Prime. They looked incredible. I believe there's something of interest around here, or not. Well, either way, we got a rabbit here. You just pound ground this and you do a really high jump. Oh, here's another spriteling. Wario, are you using the B button correctly? First, hold down the B button for a dash attack. Blah blah blah. Yeah, we know this stuff. Here's a treasure chest containing some coins. Look at Wario's mouth. It has no detail in it. Again, with the mediocre graphics of this game. Oh, this guy. I don't know this guy's name. Hold on. I can't believe it. Normally, I know a lot of official enemy names. Oh yeah, his name is a Cractal. Now, there is something about the enemies that I really don't like about this game, and it's how they're all rehashed. Even though they have different models, they still have the exact same behavior. And that's one thing that I don't like too much about this game, is how all the enemies are rehashed, despite the fact that they're different models. Oh, now in here, we just need to get to the top. So just make yourself a stairway. And there's the gold statue fragment. But now you're going to want to destroy as much of this as you can, because there's a red diamond amongst all this. Now the other use for these coins is really just as continues, because if you lose all your life, you will get game over. But if you have coins, then you can pay a penalty to actually respawn. And by respawn, I really do mean respawn. Half your life meter gets refilled. And well, you actually continue from the exact spot you died, so this game is extremely easy and forgiving, which is probably where most of the criticism comes from. Like I said, is the game being really easy and short, but I just like the charm it has. I mean, it's just so satisfying to punch all these enemies in the face and just make them genuinely suffer. And what is wrong with that? I don't understand that about this game, is enemies just randomly disappearing from right in front of you. They usually do that if they go too far away from their designated points, but it still makes no sense. Also, they're constantly respawning enemies. Now, you probably notice the thing in the top left corner of the screen every time we kill an enemy. That's your enemy kill count. It's really pointless. And there's this guy here with a club. I really have no idea what he's meant to be. Well, he's a... Well, I know he's a dinosaur, yeah, but I don't know his name. These tend to be the tougher enemies of the game here, because they actually take up to 6 hits before you KO them and can defeat them. Because the first 3 hits, they'll only lose their club, and that guy bounced off an invisible wall there. Okay, so let's get this treasure. Gold statue fragment. And this. There we go. And here's a sub-level. Going down. Right, now here we got a puzzle here where we basically have to make ourselves a way up. But it's kind of tricky. Yeah, I think I did this wrong. Hold on. No, I didn't do it wrong. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, there's garlic. So now we know what it looks like. Because I had no use for it. Oh, and get this. If you see a garlic dispenser, you can't actually attack it with an enemy or other throwable object. You'll actually hear a buzzer. It rejects you, basically. I love that. Oh, and also when you do the pile driver, you'll notice another counter in the top left here. That just shows, basically shows your drop distance there. Or another pointless addition, but oh well. Another bomb? Why am I seeing so many of these when I said they're rare? Have a rotten day. If I will give this game more credit, it's that it definitely does portray Wario's personality the best out of any game. It shows that he's comical, he's just such a funny character. And he throws his own head. So there's the blue switch. And another sub-level. Okay, now this is a main mechanic that you see a lot in this game. This is a gooey ball. You basically stick to it. That's about it. Now it's going to carry you through this, and you're just going to want to position yourself so that you go through these holes and avoid the spike ball. Pretty simple. And there's another red diamond. Now I said there was 2 different sections, well, 2 different variations of the sub-level. The platforming variant we won't actually see until the 2nd level. Here it's all strictly all puzzle based. There we go, another sprite lane. Careful, Wario, all the cliffs and deep chasms around here are really, really dangerous. Here we're gonna get into something that is really annoying about this game. If you fall, you land in Unicorn's lair. Scary. You lose coins as long as you're in Unicorn's lair. So if you fall in, you better hurry and find the escape spring before you go broke. So yeah, if you fall into a bottomless pit or chasm, you won't die, but you fall into the Unicorn's lair, and it is so annoying. Punch this thing here and it just makes a staircase, so pretty simple. These do get a little trickier later on though, so don't worry about that. So now next up we're going to be crossing some bridges. Now one of these bridges will always break on you, and it's always random which one breaks every time you have a new save file. There we go, we're falling into the Unicorn's lair. And these guys, they're the Unicorns. They are indestructible. And why is this place hell? Because if they grab you like with their mouths, they will shake the coins out of you. Also the water is dangerous. If you fall in the water, you actually start losing coins. As like so. And you lose more the more you bounce off it. And if they grab you, you're gonna have to shake your control stick to break free. If you get one of these bombs and carry it around, they won't attack you. You just punch in all these crates until you find the escape spring. So what am I wasting time for? We found it. These uniform-less sections, they get more and more complicated and annoying. Here's the final sprite link, but I'm gonna ignore him for now, as cool as it is. I'm gonna ignore that for now because I want to go over here. And down here. Alright, now here, you're gonna want to hit these switches very specifically. Yeah, that's it. There's a specific pattern to hit those switches in, and that was it. More unneeded garlic. And out of here. The levels are relatively long though, I'll give them that. Ah, Wario. Just whoops. Yeah, that guy can shield himself with his club. Now, there's a switch there, we're just gonna pound on that. Over here now. So yeah, I consider this game to be quite an underrated classic. It's not the best Wario game out there, in fact it's probably the worst. And there we go, we collected all the fragments of the gold statue, so when we leave the level, we'll get our half heart. So that we can actually pause to see it complete. There you go. It's Wario doing his V pose. And over here, okay, we got a new enemy here. He is a Anchoron. These things fire these balls at you. They are harmful to you if they explode near you, but they can still be used as weapons. Also, these guys can take quite a beating, and they can use withdraw to shield themselves from attack. Alright, so let's get the final treasure. There we go. So rescue the final spriteling and we can take on the boss. Hey, there's the goal, Wario. If you found enough red diamonds, the stone doohickey blocking the way will vanish. If not, the bye-bye balloons take you back to the start point. Up ahead, the diamonds you need will appear more frequently. So yeah, if you can go back to the start of the level by grabbing onto these balloons here and letting them take you away. Now after you beat the level, bye-bye balloons will appear at the beginning of the level and they will take you to the halfway point of the level. Anyway, just approach it and our red diamonds do all the work. Away goes the stone doohickey and we can go to the boss. This is the fighter frog if I remember correctly. I'm a #1! This guy is ridiculously easy. Bosses in this game have a life bar, as you can see, represented by the skulls. This guy is the least bit threatening. Okay, he's knocked down, so all you have to do now is do damage. You can use any of the 3 moves, I think they're called super moves. But just be careful because aside from this guy, you are going to want to... Whoops, I fell. Well, I took damage for the first time in this LP. You are going to be careful because you are going to have to charge up your attacks, otherwise the boss will not take any damage. But this boss being the first one, he's easy. And yeah, you knock the coins out of him basically. Also, one thing I want to comment on are the physics. The bosses defy physics quite a bit, like you saw there. I mean, we'll get into that with some other bosses. I made him suicide! Huh? Oh. I made him suicide and come straight back up only to explode and barf out coins. Oh, that was funny. Clear! So now we get this counter showing all the enemies we beat and we get 1 coin for each. And then we return to the hub world. So after a triumphant musical score, we get half heart. Beautiful! Now the next level opens up. So let's save our game. And as you can see, all these are stamped out now. So we did everything in this level. We just had to repeat that 7 more times. But this is quite a lengthy episode. So we shall end things off here. So next time on Wario World, we're going to this level here. So until next time, see you later. Okay then?